What's up, y'all? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden. Very quick episode here. I just saw this on Breaking Points. It's very interesting and not at all surprising. So it looks as though Nancy Pelosi is now going to be pushing for a vote this Thursday on the infrastructure bill that the Republicans wrote. It's about $900 billion from what I ascertain, and it's horrible. It's the one that the progressives are against. So the promise has been, up until now, from both progressives and Nancy Pelosi publicly, that they will not pass that bill and not have a vote on it unless they pass them at the same time, or the reconciliation bill, which is the one the Democrats like, that's $3.5 trillion, passes first. And of course now Nancy Pelosi is saying, no, we're decoupling those two. We're going to take a vote first on the Republican bill. Who called this on their show months ago? This guy. Yeah, and it's not hard, because Nancy Pelosi always lies, is the first thing I always assume. Whenever she's speaking, she's lying. And of course, here's the thing, she's also mostly a Republican. So I knew it was always up to her to decide whether or not we actually, are going to do this the way that she said before or not. But she doesn't want to pass the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, and all of the squad members believed her. And so they are furious today, saying, we've been saying for months and months and months that we're not going to vote for the Republican-written infrastructure bill unless you pass these two at the same time and in the current form that they're in, right? They're idiots. They believe Nancy Pelosi. Of course, this all could just be, theater, and this is something that they all plan to do the entire time. I don't know either way. But it seems to me that Nancy Pelosi just kind of lied to everybody. The squad was dopey enough to think that she might actually keep her word and force these two bills to be voted on at the same time. That does not look like it's going to be the case. Thursday, the Republican bill is up for a vote. Again, before the infrastructure, or the reconciliation infrastructure bill, which is the big one that we really need to pass in its current form. So this is hilarious, but what does it do, actually? It forces the squad to shoot down the bill. They have to do what I've been saying the entire time is, and here's the thing, it might pass anyway, because the Republicans, I don't know if it's going to be exactly along party lines with this one. I don't think that they can necessarily shoot this one down. It depends on if they do vote party lines on it, because like I said, this bill it's so Republican, they're going to get all the Republicans to vote for it likely. And they might even get some centrist Democrats to vote for it as well, in which case the squad's numbers won't be able to stop it. We'll just have to see. But again, they have to be willing to vote as a block of, 6 to 13 and see who else you can bring over to your side, because, this is politics. If it's a really horrible Republican bill, bring some of your Democrat centrist friends that you know at work over to your side. Say that there's going to be 30 or 40 of you guys that are going to say, no, fuck that, we're never going to vote for the Republican written bill, regardless, until the reconciliation package is also being voted on at that exact same time. That's what you have to do. You vote as a block and you draw a line in the sand. Now, will the squad do that? I don't know. I suppose it depends on if it's going to be an actual vote, meaning, it's going to be close, where the votes at the end actually matter, or if it's going to be one of those, theatrical votes where 400 of them vote for one thing and then 10 of them vote for another thing, like the Iron Dome. So we'll just have to see what happens here, but of course Nancy Pelosi broke her promise to the squad. It's hilarious, and I saw that on Breaking Points they mentioned that Rashida Tlaib tweeted immediately about this being a Nancy Pelosi betrayal, and then the tweet got taken down immediately. Apparently someone got a call in their cell phone from Aunt Nancy telling her what she can't put up on her Twitter account. Oh, it's hilarious. This squad is so fucking spineless, man. Yeah, just fuck Nancy Pelosi, man. Go out there on a fuck Nancy Pelosi tour like I've been talking about, you guys. Destroy her. Destroy her. All of you guys have a bigger social media apparatus, especially combined, if you just run against these establishment fools and trash them at every corner. Because this is what they always do. They make you guys look like fools. They make the squad look like fools. Because they are fools. They're being fooled by Nancy Pelosi. This wasn't hard to see coming. So, what do I think will happen? I think that the Republican bill will pass on Thursday, probably. And then, of course, that will be the last bit of leverage the squad has to get anything done in the reconciliation package, which then will get whittled down from 3.2, 3.5, where it is right now, depending on who you talk to, down to about, like I said, 1.5 to 2. And that's where they'll, compromise, and then the Democrats will do the world's biggest victory lap that they ended up getting a $1.5 trillion deal when all they did was meet Joe Manchin in the middle when he wanted $1 trillion and Bernie's initial bid was $6 trillion. So it's like, oh yeah, we met in the middle. Here's Bernie right here. Here's Manchin. That's what happened. And they'll act like it's the world's biggest fucking victory. And let's not forget that if it's $2 trillion, which I think is on the high side for what it might be after they give away all their leverage on Thursday, what we're probably looking at is less than 20% of what we need to keep the planet from catching on fire. If we don't build our infrastructure out to at least $10 to $15 trillion in terms of like helping with green energy, sustainable energy, and also just like rebuilding stuff with, more sustainable things. Like, there are things that are much more sustainable than concrete, than the materials that we used when we built our old buildings. We can build them better for real. I imagine that if you're thinking about that as being like scoring a touchdown, saving the planet, Biden's getting us to about the 10-yard line, his own 10-yard line, barely out of our own end zone. So they'll do the world's biggest victory lap, and everyone else will go, this is not a fucking victory. You didn't get past our own 10-yard line, you fucking suckers. So remember, when I make fun of Nancy Pelosi and call her the C word on my show, it's for a reason. Don't be mad at me. She has to stop being a C word, and then I'll stop calling her the C word. But she screws over hundreds of thousands of people. This decision will not be one of those things that is inconsequential in terms of human life in this country. And people wonder why I go after these people so hard. It's because shit like this. Anyway, I'll try to get you guys the Julian Assange episode later. And sorry, I was on Millennial Splaining last night. I thought it was going to be live. It wasn't. We did film it. It'll be up sometime today or the next day, whatever. I don't know when she uploads most of her videos, but you can keep an eye out for that. It was over an hour long. It was a lot of fun. So thank you, Bess, for having me. I will likely be on that show, semi-regularly. We had a lot of fun. So I'll talk to you guys later. Keep fighting the good fight.